What is your fondest memory of leading your team to that historic win?
Well, Molly, first of all, thank you guys for working. And all of us are at home, and I know you're working from home, but you're still working. And God bless you guys and your families, and also God bless America, too. But what I remember, Molly, was here's this guy named Larry Bird, who had led his team to an undefeated season, 33-0. He was dominating college basketball, and he was – in the beginning, he was relatively unknown, right? And the school was unknown. But as the season progressed, everybody was like, wow, this guy named Larry Bird, he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. And at that time, Sports Illustrated, it was big time, And so as the season progressed, we, as Michigan State, we were not playing. We didn't start off well, and we were 4-4 in the Big Ten. But then we got hot. We won like 10, 11 games in a row, and leading into the tournament. And then we were playing our best basketball, and you could see that the college basketball fan and the TV network was hoping that Indiana State with Larry Bird would meet Michigan State with Magic Johnson, and that's exactly what happened. We got to the semifinal. We beat Penn. They beat DePaul, and I thought DePaul, which was led by Mark Aguirre, I thought they may beat Indiana State because, to me, they had a little bit more talent. But Larry Bird had 36 points that game, and it was like, uh-oh, we got to watch out for this guy on Monday night. And sure enough, we felt that we had more talent with Greg Kelser, who was, I think he got drafted number 5 by Seattle that year, was on our team. And then we had Jay Vincent, too, another NBA player. We felt that we had more talent than them and that we could beat them. But we were scared to death because Larry Bird was an awesome basketball player. So at the end of the day, we ended up winning the game. And we didn't know. I don't think Larry Bird or myself knew that it would be that big. But because he was named College Player of the Year, I came in second. And I think everybody got a chance to say, for the first time, the best two teams are in the NCAA Finals, and the best two players are going up against each other.
Magic Johnson, why do you think, when we consider the fact that it did a 24.1 rating, still the highest to this day in NCAA history, why do you believe that game between you two was so huge compared to anything else we've seen thereafter? Remember, we've seen Ewing against Jordan. We've seen Ewing against Olajuwon for the national championship. Right. We've seen UNLV versus Duke, etc. Why do you believe you against Larry Bird to this day was the biggest the biggest in history?
Well, Stephen A., I think because we were two big players in terms of 6'9", we would do anything to win. Our game was so versatile in terms of we could dribble, pass, shoot. So we were playing the game the right way. And I don't think people, the college basketball fan, hadn't seen two players like ourselves who could play the game the way we could play the game. And then at the end of the day, Larry Bird being white, me being black, I think it captivated everybody's imagination of, okay, let's see, who's going to win this game, and who also we were entertainers, too, at the same time because of our passing ability, no-look passes, and I think that all those factors played into it, and, man, we didn't disappoint all the way from the first game in the NCAA tournament to the championship game. All the hype that we had behind us, we never disappointed the college basketball fan.
Magic, my answer to that would be a lot of what you said is true, but the short version is you two were basketball geniuses. There's a difference between seeing two top players go against each other. Hakeem was amazing. I'm a huge Patrick Ewing fan. Or even like if you saw the Greek Freak against Kawhi, those are great competitors, great athletes. But watching you and Larry Bird, you were watching two basketball geniuses. It was obvious the decision-making, the kind of otherworldly effect you guys had on the game. When you looked at him, as they say, game recognized game, real recognized real, you said we were scared to death because of this guy, Larry Bird. What was it about him, playing against him, that was so scary?
Because because I think you're right, Max. We mirrored each other. That's what was scary about it. You know what my coach decided to do? It's never happened ever in my basketball life. So on that Sunday, so we both won on Saturday. We had Sunday to practice because then the game was on Monday. So we get to Utah at the gym, and he says to me, he says, Irvin, we don't have nobody on the second five on the scout team that could play Larry Bird. So we're going to have you play Larry Bird so that we can get used to how Larry Bird plays. So I said, okay, cool. You know, I it was like a compliment. And so you're not going to believe this. Stephen A., Max, Molly, I was shooting the lights out that practice, right? I was shooting like Larry Bird, and everything I threw up there was going in. So about 20 minutes into the practice, he said, timeout. Coach said, timeout. Irvin, can you play like that tomorrow night? And so I think that I helped us get ready because he put me on the scout team to be Larry Bird so we could adjust our zone. And but I would say this. One thing great about Larry Bird, we are mirrors of each other. We played the same way. We thought the game. We were students of the game. We would do anything to win. And we've been linked to each other since 1979, since that game. And now we're great friends because we used to dislike each other because of him being with the Celtics, me being with the Lakers. And so I'm just glad today we can say, hey, we're friends, and that he knows me as Irvin and I know him as Larry.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.